Hello and welcome to the NewOrg demonstration on a few recently added features to the system. One will be the error checking button seen on the contact view, the PDF editor tool, and the file share available in events. So looking at the family we have pulled up, I'm logged in as myself when we're looking at the family Nicole December. Here are some family events and family members. So to begin with the error check button, simply click on the error check button and you'll see a paragraph once it pulls up, just going over the 5 areas that the system is checking. A few of those, the first 2 are drop-down selections, and then the last 3 are some event, encounter event, and child only event areas. So I've chosen this family. We have an error flagged on each section. And so the error check print form is just a print form tool to be used as a resource and a place where you might be able to update these errors or areas on the system interactively by using the form. So for the first one, we have an error showing for Taylor December, who is a contact on the family we were just viewing. For this one, if we looked up here, the role, this flags when the drop down for role is empty. To update this, click on the area provided. We can see here it brings us into Taylor's contact record, where we'll then select a role for Taylor. Actually, Taylor is an older sibling, so I am going to select sibling not enrolled. Okay, we see in the tabs that our error check area is still open. If we wanted to see the recently updated role, we could hit the refresh, the green refresh button just above it. And we can see that error line that was popping is now gone. For intended intensity of service, we look up here. This is looking for a blank error when the drop-down titled intended intensity of service is empty. To update, click on the link. Now you're taken into that same contact view, but we're taken to the custom fields area where those 2 or really 1 drop-down lives. But while we're here, if family designation of need is also empty or not finding a value, we can update that at that time. So intended intensity of services, if you're serving your families, if your grant says 2 visits a month, it'd be biweekly. Family designation of need, this is the field that for those in the program, you would select indicated and save. While that saves, I'm going back to my error check. If I were to hit refresh, after updating that line, this error line item disappears. So for the third area, it's primary event contact that does not have the role of child on the below events. Basically, these, what is this? 5 events are child-only events, meaning the child being served or in the program is the contact on the event. Nobody else needs to be on the event. This is hoping to find maybe some of those enrollment events that were entered under mom and should be entered under the child or can be updated to be entered under the child. Screening events, transitions, exits, and eligibility. So let's check our error. We click on the line item that's coming. I see it's a November 10th child enrollment. We're going to open it up. Okay. You can investigate the family or the contact on the event by clicking that hyperlink at the contact. But if you know the family story, I know that Nicole December is mom, and this looks like it's a prenatal enrollment event. So most likely what's happened is I put mom on the event when it should be the prenatal baby. To update this, you can go to edit in the event or the contacts tab. They'll both get you to this screen where all contacts on the event are. So here's baby, but I also want to take Nicole off or take the adult off. So I'll delete for a moment in time. No one is on the event. So the system doesn't find them. You have to search to pull back up the December family and get the little add button to say primary instead of add. This will make baby December is now primary contact on this event and nobody else is on this event. So this is an enrollment, a prenatal enrollment for this child. If that's all I'm doing, I can hit close on the event, come back, refresh. We'll watch our third line item and it blows out. For the fourth area, it's events. Basically, it's the 3 encounter type events. You have your personal encounter, your prenatal encounter, and your newborn encounter that do not have a contact added to the event with the role of a child. So similar to the one that we just fixed, this is looking at encounter events that were entered on the system and only have maybe a primary caregiver on them or somebody other than a child. So to get your 2 visits a month per child, the child has to be on the event. Okay, it's finding one error item on November 13th. I'll pull that up. When I pull it up, I see that it's a prenatal encounter. We've titled it November Prenatal Home Visit Number 1. I do see moms on the event, but I don't see either in my contacts tab with a number to indicate or the little Weeble icon here to indicate that anyone else is on this event. So we know that this home visit was for the prenatal child. To count for the prenatal child in the system's brain, you have to add the child contact to the event. So since our primary contact is fine, we'll add the baby to the event. And if that's all we're updating on that event, we can close it out, refresh, and that prenatal event should go away, or that prenatal error. Okay, and for the last area, these are events of personal and prenatal without a child enrollment previously entered. So this airline is looking at our home visits being entered for children being served in the program without an enrollment event being entered. We know that these children or these child contacts are enrolled, but did we tell the system? And the way we tell the system is we enter an enrollment event. Okay, couple of line items there. We have a November 14th and a November 3rd. You can click on either one. And the good thing about this error line is if it does pop up, you may see a huge list of errors or several errors. But once you enter and backdate the enrollment to the child's true enrollment, all those errors will go away. So for Molly, I'm going to pick one of the errors. I'm going to take a look. This brings me into the encounter event, but we can go check out the family and see where or if Molly has an enrollment event. From the contact view, I'm going to look at this family's events that have been entered. I can scroll through there, or I can use my filters to look for the event type that I'm searching for. As far as child enrollment events go, I only see one prenatal enrollment, so my question has been answered. Molly needs an enrollment event. I'm going to come up here and go ahead and enter her an enrollment event. I saw that the enrollment event for her prenatal sister or brother was November 10th. So we're going to date Molly's back to November 10th as well. And this event is for Molly. So I'm not going to have mom's name. I'm going to put Molly's name in the event contact field because it has happened. It's complete and closed. Program is Prevention Initiative Divisions Home Visiting. And then we will save the event. So even though we're entering this event today on December 16th, we're backdating it to when it truly took place and saving the event. Now, if we were to go, again, you'll notice there are 2 lines there. So they're finding that 2 encounters have been visited, but in both instances, it couldn't find that prior to those happening, there was an enrollment. So when I click refresh, both of these lines should disappear. Kind of a fun thing that NewOrg was able to add. When all the airlines disappear, you'll get some fun confetti to enjoy. Okay, let's now look at, going to close out some of these tabs. Let's look at file share on events. Same family, Nicole December. Going to go into the personal contact event, and to share a file or request an upload in any event, you can use the 3 connected dots at the top of the event. When you hover over it, you kind of see it'll say share files with the contact. So whoever the contact is on the event is who you can share it with. So as mentioned before, the child-only events, if you're sharing via email from the event, then that child would need an email in their email field. In our case, we're going to share for Molly, and I have put my email in Molly's contact email field. So when you open the file share, here you are in the file share center for this family in this particular event. I can see forms that are available to share. I can see my request for the family to upload and so forth. So I am going to share the consent to release and exchange information. I click on that and my share the file prompt comes up. I can see what I'm sharing, who I'm sharing it with, and that's any member on the event. So I'm going to select Molly. I can keep it open for 2 hours, forever, however long you want to do. We'll do 2 hours. You can leave instructions for your family. And then under here, you can decide which button you would like to click. Click Share and Send with Access Token to allow the recipient to access the document center without a username and password. For our purposes and our families, this is what we would do. So it sends a secure token that's going to be open for 2 hours or however long you indicated, and they don't have to have a password to get into it. So we will click Share and Send with Access Token. NewOrg is going to say, hey, wait a minute, are you sure you want to do this? This is just another security measure. Click OK to continue. And off it goes. So that will go to the family's email, which I'm going to pull in now. Okay. So in my email, I see secure file is shared with you from Baby Talk. When I open it, this is what the email will look like that your family receives. Know that you can also send this to yourself, highlight this link, and that's another way to send it, maybe from, instead of out of NewOrg, out of your personal email to them, if they're more likely to maybe open an email directly from your name. Or you can click the link provided. So as I click it, it opens into my file share. The Nicole December family has had a few files shared with them. So now I will open. I'm going to pick one. And when using these print forms, it does take a moment before it pulls up. And we've tested this out on your phone too. It'll pull up on the phone, and families are able, if they have email on their phone, to then fill it in. You can fill in this form as desired. And you can see some selections that the system is held on to. Parent and guardian signature, that's, you would say mom or date it. This one is the second signature line of the form. If you're under 18, that might not be filled out. Once it's completed, save. And then a copy of that form will now be shared into the event or linked to the event in NewOrg. And the family is done, the form has been saved, and we can either log out or X out of the Document Share Center. And now when I come to the family, I can see in the Files tab, there's a form in the Files tab. Because I shared directly from this event, I come over and I can view the form that was completed by the family. So that is a little bit on the file share section. Feel free to use it. It's there. You don't have to use it. Just know that it's there and that the cheat sheet has been updated in the main files tab of NewOrg and also on the portal, on the NewOrg resources portal page to show which events have print forms in them. So you can share print forms from an event, but you can also from any event type request an upload if you're looking for the family to upload a document to the event. So it might be handy. Let us know your thoughts as you begin using it. The last item is the PDF editor tool. Some of you may have noticed when uploading either to the files tab of the contact view, which is where we're at now and where we're going to upload a document, or in your event, if you upload a PDF, you'll now see an extra function called PDF tool. I think this one might be pretty nice. You can see here that I've played around a bit, uploaded a welcome letter, and then edited. We're going to do the same thing again. So to upload a file, you do this process. This process is the same for an event or a contact, the file upload process. I'm going to bring this over here to select my file. Now about. There it is. I don't know why it didn't go the first time, but your welcome letter, you can select your type, which is creating that file folder. Maybe I'll pick a different one other than document. I'll do FY23, and we're looking at the welcome letter again. If you wanted to name it something else, this is an open field to name, and then if you wanted to add any description, you could. Once you're ready, you can click the check mark to upload the document. And we see that a new file has arrived in our welcome letter. So when you hover over here, you can delete it. You can edit the file details, which is this description, the class, the type, things like that. Or you have this open file in PDF editor now. So here's my welcome letter. And if I wanted to use some of these features and then say share it with mom or dad, then I could. We're adding a text field. And then let's go ahead and put our program staff signature. Let's say Nicole. I'm so bad at, you guys get it. So you can see that that was added. I can pull that down and kind of adjust it as needed. When I did that, my date kind of went away. So I'm just going to bring my date field back. Click outside of the date field. That's what happened. I hit the X instead of clicking outside, and you get your controls. When you're ready, you can download this to your desktop now. If you wanted to add a signature line to your welcome letter, just for any purposes to use. Or you can save it and the document is saved. Where did it save? It saved right here next to the original document. So if you wanted to edit any details, maybe we say ready for signature and date. I added a description and it kind of tells you what the edit is. So I think that one will be a fun one too. Feel free to use any of the features and we look forward to hearing back from you. And if you have any questions, reach out to the BTLI team. My email is nicole@babytalk.org.